welcome you back to Dutchmen Gameday for the 2025 season. As tonight, we are live inside our beautiful Dutchmen Gameday studio inside of Ambler-Cleona High School, which is the home of your Ambler-Cleona Dutchmen. And tonight, for the first time this season, a York Adams team is visiting town. The Biglerville Canners taking the hour and 40-minute drive here tonight for an exciting matchup. Hello, everybody. I'm Jackson Hanley. He's Gus Sherentano, and we are back. Gus. Oh, also, Christian Long is on the field tonight. We'll debut a new feature in a little bit. Excited for that. But Gus, tonight, game one, home game one, exciting. First broadcast of the 2025 season. This has the potential to be an amazing year for the Dutchmen. A lot of excitement down there on that field. The guys are pumped. This could be a very, very special year, as it is the 58th year of Dutchmen football.
Yeah, they are pumped, let me tell you that. And I'm pumped too, because football is back. It's been what, 6 months since our last broadcast?
February, yeah.
6, 7 months? Yeah. I'm excited. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than this football season, calling games with you. Yeah. Best time of year.
Yeah.
Before we get started tonight, I want to give a shout out to our producer, Cole Stoltz, who graduated from basic training today. I mean, that's exciting. Cole, we couldn't be more proud of you.
Yeah, Fort Leonard Wood down there in Missouri. Cole, congratulations. We hope to see you back on September 5th, which is our next home broadcast, and a special announcement. We're bringing you a broadcast for every single home game this season. Kind of exciting. And that schedule looks like, and what that schedule looks like tonight, our first broadcast, September 5th, Littlestown. The Thunderbolts will be in town for September 5th broadcast. September 26th broadcast, Kutztown Cougars. The October 10th broadcast is homecoming weekend, certainly exciting. That'll be against Pequay Valley. Maybe a couple very, very special guests that'll be in the house that night. And October 17th, 10/17, Christian Long's birthday, the field reporter, that'll be against Schuylkill Valley. So certainly an exciting
Love that guy,
year.
Christian, man.
Yeah, certainly an exciting year for the Dutchmen football team. As you mentioned, this is the best time of year. The weather's getting cooler. I personally can finally sleep at night. Finally, it feels great to finally get some good quality sleep. And a new season is here. You know, a lot of young guys are entering their first season here, and a lot of senior guys from our class of 2026 entering their senior season.
Let me tell you, we've grown up with these guys. Yeah. I see them walking through the halls now, these football players. Yeah. They are big.
They're big boys.
They're strong. Dutchmen, they're going to be good this year.
Yeah, senior class. The senior class, as I mentioned already, our senior class, a lot of talented returners that are coming back. One of those guys is Hudson Sellers, a key defensive end linebacker, and sometimes even a running back, fullback, wherever they put him. He can play anywhere. He's kind of a utility guy. John Moran, he's coming into the year healthy for the first time after missing two years, 3 games last year, but he's back. Certainly exciting there. I talked to him a couple days ago. He is ready to go. He's so excited that he gets to start the year healthy. The Dutchmen's receiving leader as well last season coming in. Armani Santos, an absolute dog on our defensive line. Man, do we love him. He's awesome. I've
seen him bark.
Talked to him earlier this week. He's also excited. He's also a 9, which we'll get into a little bit later. And a kicker, Kian Salde, he's back after missing some time with that unfortunate back injury that kept him out a very, very long time. But as I mentioned, you know, the 9s this season.
Left and right, right?
Left and right defensive ends, kind of exciting. Those are the pass rushers. A lot of young other talented players, Jackson Speed, Devin Engelhard, James Garney, Lane Peters, who's the quarterback. We'll get into that a little bit. But, you know, I'm excited for a lot of these young guys to step up.
Yeah, you know, the 9s on the edge, those are some bigger guys, but boy, do they still have some speed, man. They're probably the most athletic guys on the field. But I want to talk about the helm for this Dutchman offense this year. Junior Lane Peters. Yeah. He was the backup for quarterback Bryce Keller last year, and he's coming up, and boy, is this kid a slinger, man. Yeah. He throws the heck out of that rock, and you were at the scrimmage. Tell us what you saw.
That was really impressive. You know, that was kind of one of the questions coming into this 2025 season is who's going to take Bryce Keller's job? Gingrich, I talked to him. He was debating. They had a couple front-running guys who could win the job, but ultimately Lane Peters, the junior, who you just mentioned, he gets the start. Lane Peters, he brings a lot of QB experience to the table. 2 seasons as the middle school quarterback down there.
He's a pitcher too, right?
I believe he's an all-star baseball pitcher for the high school team.
What an arm.
He can bring a lot of that arm talent to the field, and in that scrimmage, a lot of passing plays, about 6 or 7 passing plays, pretty exciting there. I'm excited to see what the passing game for the Dutchmen can do this season.
It's going to be fun to watch, let me tell you that.
Absolutely, and especially the run game. But in that scrimmage on Saturday, What impressed me the most was our defense. The defense looked really solid. I was very proud of how they played. I talked to Matt Gingrich, our coach, and I said, hey, I'm very impressed with how we looked on both sides of the ball, especially defensively. We looked really well. A lot of sacks against Palmyra. They had a lot of big kids up front and a big running back about 6 feet tall. He was massive. They took him down easily, no problems. A lot of blitzes, very solid. But the only thing that I noticed is that the defensive backs, a little weak, but we'll get that figured out.
And that's sort of the beauty of Anvil. We might play against bigger teams like Palmyra, but the grit from this Dutchman football team is unmatched.
Yeah, culture and heart can really take you pretty far, and grit.
Yeah, Gingrich does a great job there.
Yeah. So we got Biglerville tonight, but before we talk a little bit about the Canners and what they're bringing to the table, we're gonna go down to the field and debut our first feature for the 2025 season. Christian Long, what you got for us? Take it away, my man.
Stadium, beautiful day out here, very hot. I'm glad you guys are nice and cool in that studio when I can't be. Yeah, watching these Dutchmen practice so far, it's been great. They're looking really big, they're looking strong, and they're looking fast. I know you mentioned something about the defensive backs looking a little weak, which is something that AC football is very used to. The only thing I've noticed out here so far is the punting's a little weak, as about 15 seconds ago I was just drilled by a punt right in the arm. Took it like a champ, though. That's all that matters. But it's great to be out here, guys. I'm really excited for the next season of Dutchmen Gameday. And I'm really excited for the season of Dutchman football. These guys look great out here.
Thank you, Christian. Sorry you got hit by the punt there. We apologize for that in your first, kind of on-field experience. But we're going to hear from him a couple more times throughout tonight's broadcast. Gus, what can we expect from Biglerville tonight?
Yeah, Biglerville last year finished 7-4, snuck into the playoffs, lost first round to Berks Catholic. Unfortunate. They played the Dutchmen in their opener last year as well, so this is a repeat. They averaged 175 yards on the ground against the Dutchmen and won this game in a shootout, 39-36. And a lot of those yards were from running back Aiden Hoffman, who is returning for his senior season this year. Jackson, tell me about him.
Aiden Hoffman, he's very good. He's a baseball player. He has a lot of speed, a lot of talent, and he is the running back. So tonight's game will most likely be a trench fight, a ground and pound. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the Canners have some questions at the helm, the quarterback spot. Watching their film, kind of hard to depict who's going to win the starting job. And then their defense, they also have some questions. Lost a lot of solid starters there. But I guess we will see tonight, kind of who gets to start at quarterback and what this defense can do for Biglerville.
Yeah, quarterback last year for them, Bo Forney, he graduated, he's done. It's going to be interesting how their offense operates. Is it going to be able to score 39 points like last year? I hope not.
I don't know. Biglerville, I was impressed with their defense last season. They held their ground. They did not put up a lot of points defensively, and they overall looked pretty well. So tonight, it's going to be an exciting matchup. As I mentioned, the trench fight, ground and pound. Devin Engelhart versus Aiden Hoffman, who can squeeze into those tight spaces and who can get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, but not just football. We got other sports coming up for you guys. First thing I want to get into, girls field hockey. Yeah. Their season's kicking off next week against a home match against Lancaster Mennonite. Yeah. That's going to be exciting. Are you going to that game?
Possibly. Maybe I'll stop by.
I'm going to be there. I'll tell you what.
They had a game this afternoon against Middletown. We do not know the results, but we will get that to you if we have it throughout tonight's broadcast. Girls tennis, they had some matches, I should say, against E-Town, Garden Spot, and Solenko. Today they had McCaskey. Yeah, they took a loss against Solenko yesterday. Unfortunate, but early in the year they play a lot of matches. I'm a tennis player. I'm pulling for the girls. Yeah. It's going to be an exciting season for them. Yeah, can't wait to watch those. Girls and boys soccer, a few matches this week. I know, Gus, you have a little bit of relation to the new head soccer coach, Tucker Hall. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, they're in for a great year. Let me tell you that. They got returning players Travis Hostetter, George Mag. Brody Keener, and let me tell you, he is a dog on and off the pitch, as they say. I just spent some time in England, so I learned it's not called a field, it's called a pitch.
How was that trip, Gus?
That was a great trip. Thank you for asking. Boys soccer is going to be great this year. Not so great in years past, but new year.
Yeah, and a little thing I had about this week and about a week ago, I talked to Coach Tucker Hall. He is super excited to take over. He said he's been waiting for this moment. He's super happy to have the job. And I asked him, I said, what are you going to do differently than this year? And he said he's going to try and get us over that playoff hump. been a while since the Dutchman soccer team have reached the end goal, the postseason. And I talked to him. He said he's going to get the guys there. As you mentioned, Travis Hostetter, Lucas Steiner, Josiah Martin, Brody Keener, the goaltender. Really good job. But a lot of other good returning guys, George Mag. Yeah, super exciting year for the soccer team. And then real quick, football will be on the road against Hanover next Friday.
Yeah, you know, Tucker, one hell of a coach there. Yeah, talk us about our key players tonight.
Yeah, key players. But wait, before we get into that, Christian Long has Kean Soliday field side.
Maybe he is a key player.
Maybe he is a key player. We're going to hear that right now. Christian, what you got for us?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I forget to close it. He's on middle.
Santa Mon. Alrighty, guys, I'm here joined by senior kicker Kean Soliday. Now, Kean, you missed most of the season last year with your back injury, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Was it with the back injury?
Yeah.
But you're back here for your senior year. Are you excited?
I am, you know, I'm feeling good. The team looks good. I mean, a lot of work's been put in over the summer. So, I mean, but none of that matters now, you know. It's time to go out there, do your job. But, yeah, I feel great, and I think everyone else does.
Yeah, and speaking of these summer practices, what has it taken you to kind of transition from your summertime routine to football?
You know, I think getting older, you kind of have to realize that you might have to make sacrifices. Sometimes you want to hang out with friends and do things, but you're like, hey, you got to go to the gym, you got to be at practice. Sometimes you can't be staying up late playing video games like I used to. I realized that last year. My junior year, one time I tried staying up till like 3 a.m. and I had to be at practice at 6 a.m. and
I bet that worked out well for you, didn't it?
No, it didn't. So, you know, you just kind of realize that you're older. You got to make some sacrifices along the way.
Yeah, and then what are you looking forward to against Biglerville in specific?
So last year we fell short by, I think, 2 points.
Yeah, very close.
And, you know, I had a chance to make a game-winning kick where we didn't get in range, and we ended up with the ball then. I'm just looking forward, you know, to my my job, everyone else is their job, we win. You know, it sounds simple. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's kind of the way to dumb it down. I'm just looking forward to winning in front of the home crowd. It's a good way to start off the season.
Yeah, and then just one final question here. What do you think your keys to victory tonight are, not just for you, but for the entire Dutchman team in general?
You know, our main motto has always been do your job. You know, for example, with kicking, you know, if I miss a kick, maybe it's a bad snap, maybe it's a bad hold, maybe it's a bad kick. If everyone can do their job, everyone can show up, give their hardest effort they can, you know, we're going to win. So I just really look forward to everyone doing what they have to do and getting a win tonight.
Thank you for joining me, Kean. It's been great to see you. We're very excited to see you in action this year. Hopefully for the whole year. Do your job. Do your job. A Bill Belichick staple. Trying to put that into the minds of these young Dutchman football players. Jackson, Gus, back to you in the studio.
See ya.
For you to sit down, or I should say stand up on the field and talk to Kean. Excited for Kean. He's going to have a breakout year this year.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to nail those kicks.
All right.
Let's talk about other key players tonight.
Key players.
You want to start us off?
I'll take it. All right. For me, number one, Christian just talked to him. It's Kean Soliday. He's back. He's healthy. He's the kicker this year. He's going to have a lot of, you know, deep kicks. I'm excited to see what he can do after that kind of scrimmage last year against Palmyra.
You know, it's unusual having a kicker as a key player, but we lost this game last year by 3 points. That's a field goal. If he makes one tonight, that could be the difference.
Yeah, another guy I got is Hudson Sellers. Now, you're going to hear us talk about Hudson Sellers a lot. You're going to hear Hudson in the news a lot this year, reading those articles on, and as well as watching the television. You're going to hear and see him a lot this year. He's going to have a standout year as the pass rusher on the end. I'm excited to see what he can do. And then finally, I got the quarterback, Lane Peters. He got the call, or got the spot this week, but this is his first start as QB for the Dutchmen. Very exciting. I'm curious to see how he does tonight. I think he'll play pretty well against an inexperienced Biglerville defense. Gus, what about you?
Yeah, you know, you mentioned Lane Peters. Who's he throwing the ball to? My first key player, John Moran, the leading receiver for this Dutchman team last year. He's going to have to catch him from Lane if they want to have success on offense tonight. But more importantly, the defensive side of the ball is where we struggled last year. And Armani from the left end, he's going to have to step up and get after the quarterback. Big guy, fast guy. Make the new QB feel the pressure.
Yeah.
And then other key players, James Garney and John Moran on the defensive side of the ball, going to have to slow down this passing attack. Those two play corner on the outside, defensive back.
I like that James Garney pick.
Great games are needed from them. Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, Devin Engelhart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The number one back for this Dutchman team this year. Comes in at about 5'6", 160 pounds.
Preseason all-star.
Yeah. let me tell you, boy, is this kid speedy. I mean, what's his 40 time? A 4.4? Something like that, right?
It's got to be maybe even faster than that.
Insane.
Impressive
yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Take us into our keys to victory tonight.
All right, I'm going to give us one key to victory first, and then we're going to go back to the field. Christian has someone to talk to. But my first key to victory before we head out field side is, number one, learn your opponent. The Dutchmen haven't seen the Canners in over a year and haven't really seen them much, experienced much. There's no film. I guess you can use scrimmage film, but that really doesn't do much. So you're going to have to adapt to this team, get used to them, get used to their dynamic playing style. But yeah, the main part of the Dutchmen tonight is one of the main parts, or one key to victory. They're going to really have to learn their opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of that job is the coaches. And you're going to hear Christian Long is actually going to speak with Coach Spirall on the side of the field. You're going to hear that now.
Alrighty, guys, thank you for coming back to me. I'm here with Coach Andrew Spirall of the Amble Dutchman football team. Obviously, he's the coach of the wide receivers and the defense backs. Coach Spirall, I want to talk to you about the receivers first. I see the arm length, guys. It looks fantastic. Something the Dutchmen have not seen in a while. Who do you think are going to be the biggest receiver playmakers this year?
Receiver playmakers, we're looking a lot from Logan, and as well as Max Ortwine from the tight end position as well. And again, we don't have many wide receivers this year compared to last year, but what we do have is a lot of size in our X's. So we're looking for a lot of jump balls, any 50-50 balls. We're really expecting the X's to come down with them.
Max Ortwine, he is a big kid. I think he's going to be one of the best young guys on this team. Definitely a guy who you can get into the red zone and get some extra yardage for us. The one thing we've been talking about in the show today right now is the defensive backs. It's kind of a position that the Dutchmen have been a little light on in recent years. What do you think is going to be different this year?
Yeah, and again, it's been a challenge for us the past few seasons with our DBs, but again, we are young in the DBs, but we have a lot of size. So again, we have all 6-footers back there, so we're hoping again with those 50-50 balls, we're keeping everything in front and looking to come up and hit and fill holes. So.
And then just lastly, what are your goals for the team this year? What do you want them to achieve, not just on the football field, but as them growing into men?
Just grow together as a team. So again, this year you're going to hear a lot from a lot of the coaches. We have a very young team. So again, it's just that camaraderie and getting together as a team and growing as a team.
All right, this is Coach Spirall from the Dutchmen. Coach Spirall, thank you for joining me. And it's nice to see you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. Jackson, Gus, I'm going to send it back to you guys up at the studio.
Thank you, Christian. We're going to hear one more time from him tonight a little bit. But finally, the last key to victory for this game tonight is you're going to have to embrace it. A lot of young guys coming into their first start. A lot of underclassmen, this is their first time kind of being on that varsity field, looking at the stands, under the lights. It's going to be an amazing experience for them. But the Dutchmen have to embrace this opportunity kind of as a team. It's certainly going to be an exciting night. Home opener, season opener, really is lining up to be a great night tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're on the topic of Coach Spirall, my key to victory, and one of the things he preaches so hard, is momentum. And I can't think of a more important key to victory than momentum, especially not only for the first half of the game, but for the season, you know? Set the tone, not just for today, but for the rest of the year from the whistle, you know? I can't think of a better key.
They're going to have to come out firing. Set the tone early. Do not let Biglerville hang in this game. You cannot let a team like this hang around. It's going to be tough to keep Biglerville kind of on their feet there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, for one last time tonight, we're going to send it field side. Christian, what's the buzz kind of like down there? Do you have any last-minute injury updates for us? What else do you got for us as we tune into the final time?
Alrighty, guys, I'm sorry I left the camera for a second. I just was over talking to Booster Club President, Mr. Ortwine. The buzz this year is just fantastic. These boys are looking to get points. They're looking to improve on mistakes they made last year. We just heard from Mr. Spiro in that defensive back room. That's going to be probably the biggest hole. So they're really trying to get better on that side. Lane Peters has a monster arm. They're looking to get him into the passing game, something the Dutchmen have not seen in about 5 years. So the buzz around this team is just fantastic. They're all excited. They're all ready for another season of Dutchmen football. And I know every single fan sitting in the stands are also ready. Jackson, Gus, it's been a pleasure being on the field today. I can't wait to see what this season holds for all of us, as well as the Dutchman football team. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Christian, for joining us on the field one final time. As you can see, our guest picker is in the room with us this week. Our guest picker, huge fan of the show. She's the superintendent here. Couldn't get her in last year, but we're finally able to have her on. Please welcome Dr. Antonis. Dr. Antonis, welcome to Dutchmen Game Day. Before we get into, kind of our picks and anything else we got tonight, welcome. What do you have to say?
Thank you. I'm just excited that I'm here. Everyone's been doing a great job, and I'm so excited to watch our Dutchmen play tonight. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, Gus, start us off.
Yeah, first game, Palmyra going to Lebanon. Lebanon, a struggling team, hasn't won a game in years. So is Palmyra. Their only win last year was against this Lebanon team. They've got returning players Braxton Risser and Liam Setkovich. I don't see the result of this game changing. Give me Palmyra.
Yeah, Lebanon has a 42-game losing streak, looking to snap that tonight against Palmyra. They have a new coach. They had a coach last year. He was there for a year, but they have an interim guy this year. So Lebanon, definitely the future is bright for them as they are rebuilding. But they haven't exactly, like I said, they haven't won a home game in 5 years. They're getting closer and closer, but I think Palmyra, they're just too good. They were 1-9 last year, as you mentioned. They beat Lebanon. Palmyra Stadium is under a little bit of renovation this year, so they'll have a couple neutral site games. This is one of them. This game is being played at Northern Lebanon. But LVC will host all Palmyra's home games this year. But as I mentioned, I think Palmyra is just too powerful for Lebanon tonight. I'll take the Cougars.
And for me, because I used to live in Palmyra, I'm going to go ahead with the Cougars as well.
Good pick.
Great pick there.
Gus, what else?
Next game, Cedar Crest going to Lower Dolphin. Falcons versus Falcons here. Cedar Crest won this game last year in a blowout, 45-16. They went on to finish the year 8-4. 2 losses to Wilson, 1 in the playoffs, scoring only 3 points. Wilson had their number last year. They lost their QB, Jackson Custer, but their returning running back scored 10 touchdowns on the ground last year. They're probably going to be a more rushing team this year. But the other Falcons, Lower Dolphin, dual threat QB Braden Heckard is returning. He ran the ball over 40 times last year and completed 70 of 120 passes through the year. He's going to have a breakout year this year, but I don't think it's enough for Cedar Crest. Give me Cedar Crest to take it.
Yeah, Falcon versus Falcon matchup. Cedar Crest, we'll start off with them. They have some studs on that team, as you mentioned. Good year last year. But a name I'm looking at is Isaiah Zimmerman. He has a few D1 offers. He just got offered at JMU, which is pretty interesting there. Crest has a lot of speed offensively and defensively. Now, LD, 6-5 last season. They did make the playoffs, but they ran into big bad Bishop McDevitt. Can't do much there when you play the Crusaders. But they do have some good guys returning, but I don't think that'll be enough. I'm taking Crest tonight.
And because we have a Lebanon County team and a Dauphin County team, I'm definitely going with the Lebanon County team, so Cedar Crest.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Good pick.
Jackson, tell us about our next game.
All right, this is a very good matchup. Big school. Cumberland Valley Eagles, Manheim Township Blue Streaks. Both these teams played each other last year in playoffs. This is a top 100 state matchup. I believe Cumberland Valley is 44 and Manheim Township's 20. So this will be an amazing game. QB for Township, they got a guy in Jack Kenneth. He's returning. He's a top LLE quarterback last year, all-star. And then CV, 6-6. They played Harrisburg, Bishop McDevitt. Tough schedule there. These are some of the 2 best teams in Pennsylvania. Very good starters returning for both teams. Very good matchups last season. This is going to be a great game. I'm excited to see the results of this one on TV and all those articles, but I think Township will take this one tonight. Gus?
Yeah, Manheim Township is incredible. They started 9-0 last year, lost the last game of their season to Wilson. Wilson upset Cedar Crest in the playoffs too. They're breaking a lot of hearts over there. Not on the pick sheet tonight, but I'm going to be interested to cover them throughout the year. Manheim Township made the playoffs, lost to Harrisburg in their final playoff game. But before that, they beat this Cumberland Valley Eagles team in the playoffs and in their home opener last year. They're 2-0 last year against this team, and I think they improved to 3-0 tonight. The Eagles lost 42-14. I don't think that changes.
And then between the two, because we're in IU13, that's Lancaster and Lebanon, I'm going to go with our Lancaster County team. So it's going to be Manheim Township for the win over the Cumberland Valley Eagles.
Making a lot of good picks tonight. I'm impressed. All right, Gus, what else we got?
Red Lions traveling to the Ephrata Mountaineers. This Ephrata team does not play. They won this game last year 35-14.
Yeah.
They lost their all-star quarterback, Connor Grant. He was fun to watch last year, let me tell you. Red Lions went on to finish 3-7 and are 1-5 in conference play last year. Effort is going to get worse, but they're still going to be able to beat this Red Lion team.
Yeah, Red Lions struggled last year. Not the best year. They're looking to bounce back. They do have some solid guys coming back. Excited to see what they can do. But Ephrata, as you mentioned, Connor Grant, he's gone, 1,000-yard passer in the LL League. Ephrata, they have some good guys returning in Section 2. This will be an exciting matchup. Ephrata is going to ride that momentum and hopefully bring them to a section title. Ephrata has always been a pretty good team up there in Section 2, so I'm going to take the Mountaineers tonight.
Okay, Jackson and Gus, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I
first
have to go
disagreement.
I have to go with Red Lion. That was a district I worked for in the past, so I have an allegiance there. So go Red Lion.
First questionable pick, I will say.
Oh, yeah. All right. Conestoga Valley Buckskins are taking on the Penn Manor Comets at Penn Manor. This is another Section 2 non-league game for the Buckskins. Conestoga Valley, Exeter. Man, Exeter made the state championship last year, lost in the state championship game, but Buckskins lost that game. That made them 11-1 overall. This will be a very good game tonight. Buckskins looking for contention for a section championship. They also have some good starters coming back on both sides of the ball. They're overall a really experienced team. Penn Manor, they did struggle last year, but they have some new guys. They have a new head coach, I believe. They beat two teams last year, but this game probably won't be that close. I'm taking Conestoga Valley. Gus?
Yeah, I agree. Penn Manor lost this game last year, 0-35. I mean, Conestoga Valley just the better team, finished 11-1. Penn Manor, 2 wins last year against Reading and J.P. McCaskey. That was it. Give me the Buckskins.
This one was a tough one for me. I don't know much about either one of those teams, so I was going with the mascots, and I prefer Comets over Buckskins. So I'm going to go with the underdog again. I'm going to go with Penn Manor.
I don't agree with that at all, but to each their own.
All right, Gus, what we got here?
Yeah, the Speed Boys, unfamiliar team from West Philadelphia, coming to play Manheim Central this year. Manheim Central won 24-8 last year, but the Speed Boys picked it up and finished 8-5 after losing this game.
Wow.
First upset for me tonight. Give me the West Philadelphia the Speed Boys to come to town and beat Manheim Central.
See, not so fast, my friend. That's where we kind of draw the line there and disagree. West Philadelphia, just starting off, what a name. That's an amazing nickname for a team. That's awesome. Philadelphia City Conference, a lot of heavyweight teams down there. They have some solid guys coming back. Manheim Central, the Barons haven't had a losing season since 1977. Last year they had their first losing season since that day. They went 3-7 last year. They do have some solid guys coming back, a lot of good players for that team, and I think that they have enough to beat the Speed Boys. This game is at Manheim Central. I think the 2-hour-plus bus drive up here can really probably make a big factor in this game, and I'm taking the Barons.
And Jackson, I agree. The West Philadelphia, I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so I just keep thinking West Philadelphia, born and raised. I wasn't. However, I was first hired at Manheim Central, so again, I have to go with Manheim Central for the win. Go Barons.
There you go. All right, Gus, what else we got
I
here?
feel like I might be the only one here with any sense, with any knowledge.
All right, Gus, what else we got?
Next game, NL going to Pine Grove. NL won this game last year 10-0, but that was one of their only wins. They went 0-5 on the road, finished the year 3-7. They moved up to Section 4 last year. Yeah. Pine Grove 1-9, but NL can't win on the road, so give me Pine Grove.
Yeah, the team up north is taking on the Pine Grove Cardinals. Can't say that. All right. Very mid offense last season for the team up north. They won last year's meeting 10-0. Couple of tough games. They did not score a lot of points, that offense last year. I think that'll most likely carry over this year. This game is at Pine Grove. It's a tough place to play. You head up the mountain there. It's a little thin up there. Pine Grove 1-9 last year, tough conference. You know, they have a lot of good guys returning, and I think this is an upset. Give me the Cardinals over the team up north.
And then again, I'm going back to Lebanon County roots. Northern Lebanon is in Lebanon County. I actually live in that school district. So I'm going to the Vikings. They just invested in their athletic facilities, so they must know something that we don't know. So I'm going to go for the Northern Lebanon Vikings.
I would say great pick, but that'd be a lie.
All right. Lancaster Catholic Crusaders, Camp Hill. This is where we get into our Section 5 non-leagues. Camp Hill, man, they have a very good team, the Lions. They make the district playoffs almost every year. Catholic did win this game last year, but Camp Hill, I'm very surprised. They have a lot of good guys returning. To me, I know I mentioned about Cumberland Valley at Manheim Township, but to me, this is the game on the sheet for me. I don't know if this is for you, Gus.
Absolutely, it is. I had that one marked too. We think alike.
But Catholic, they have a lot of big dogs. They have the name I'm looking at here is D1 recruit Brandon Way. I talked to him last year when Anvil played Catholic. I talked to him after the game. I complimented him how much he's an amazing player. He follows me on Twitter, which is pretty awesome there. But he's an exciting athlete, and I think he'll carry the Crusaders all the way through.
I agree with the Crusaders part. I think they're taking this one. Camp Hill, home field advantage this time. This game last year, Catholic won 43-42.
Interesting.
But Camp Hill's got a heck of a player at QB. Drew Banstetter threw for over 2,000 yards last year. He's a gunslinger. He airs it out. This Catholic team is too good.
Yeah.
I like them to take it.
Good pick, Gus.
And I'll have to say, with Lancaster Catholic, they definitely have higher power on their side, so I'm going with the Crusaders.
Yeah, great pick there. Clean sweep for the three of us.
All right, Gus, what do we got next?
Hamburg coming to Octorara, Section 5 non-league match. Octorara 5-6 last year. They have a historically bad offense. They did end up winning this game against Hamburg last year. Hamburg outscored 7-30, finished the year 6-5. They started 5-1 and went on 1-4 down the stretch.
Interesting.
Not great. So I like Octorara to take it.
I'm going to disagree there. Not so fast. Hamburg, they're kind of riding, that loss, but they have some new guys. They did lose this game last year. But one of those, kind of things, they lost some of that momentum from last year, but I think the Braves struggle. 5-6 last year. Historically, they just haven't been the best. Their quarterback is a junior. He's only about 5'8", 160. So I don't see a world where, kind of this offense for Octorara can hold with Hamburg. Hamburg has an amazing defense tonight. I'll take the Hawks.
Because I don't know much about Octorara, but I have been to Hamburg because they have a good hamburger festival. I'm going to go with the Hamburg Hawks for the win.
All right, one final Section 5 game before we get into our AC pick. Berks Catholic Saints at Twin Valley. This is another sleeper game on the sheet. Berks Catholic is always a contender every year. This year, especially in Section 5, they have a lot of good guys returning, solid seniors coming back to this team. Twin Valley, though, they always put up a fight. They're always in there in the section race. This team is always good, despite the bad records and all that. They have a lot of good guys returning, but I think the Saints are just too much. Give me Berks Catholic tonight.
I like Twin Valley here. They rushed for nearly 3,000 yards on the ground last year. If you're a fan of old school football, the ground and pound, and you can't make it to Annville's game tonight, check this one out.
Yeah.
I like them to beat Berks Catholic.
All right. Here you go.
Again, I'm going to go with the higher power, so we're going with Berks Catholic on that one.
All right. We've made it. It's time to pick tonight's game of the night. Biglerville, the Canners, from up there in York Adams territory, taking on your Anvil Cleona Dutchmen. I'm going to start with Biglerville. Aiden Hoffman, we talked about him a little bit earlier. He's a very good athlete, a lot of speed for that running back. Biglerville, they have a lot of questions coming into those starting positions. Curious to see what they do tonight on offense, defense, and at the quarterback position more specifically. Now, the Dutchmen. This team looks fresh. They have a lot of new guys. A lot of seniors are gone, including John Shea and Bryce Keller. But in AC scrimmage against Palmyra, we talked about this earlier, both sides of the ball look very impressive. Defense and offense, everything looked great. I was very impressed with the defense, a lot of sacks, a lot of pass rushing. Overall, looked really well. Lane Peters, the quarterback, junior. First start, first year. I'm excited to see what he can do. And this Dutchman team, there's a lot of buzz. Christian mentioned it earlier. This could be a very exciting year for the Dutchmen, and I think they ride that momentum, starting tonight with a win over Biglerville. Gus?
Yeah, let's talk about Biglerville first. Won this game last year, 39-36, went on to finish 7-4. Last year in this game, they rushed for over 250 yards on the ground and then threw for almost 200 yards in the air. They lost their quarterback, though. Bo Forney graduated. He was the captain and the helm of this offense last year, so it's interesting to see if they're going to be as good without him. Anvil 4-6. They lost Bryce Keller, lost their 1,000-yard rusher, John Shea. Lane Peters, as you mentioned, 6'2", 160 pounds. This guy's tall, that perfect height for a quarterback, and he's a pitcher. He can throw it. I'm excited to see. And you know who he's thrown it to? John Moran, one of the best receivers on the Dutchman team. He led them in yards last year. He's going to have himself a game and a season. But also on the ground, look out for Devin Engelhart. He comes in at 5'5", but boy is he fast. And that's the perfect height for running backs, is kind of that shorter height, and he's going to get through the gaps a lot. I like the Dutchman in a high-scoring game tonight.
There you go.
And then I'm not sure what a canner is, nor do I really want to know what a canner is, but I do know what a Dutchman is, and they are champions. So 100%, this is AC Dutchman all the way, not a competition. I know we lost some good guys last year, but we also have some really strong contenders this year, so we're good. Go Dutchman.
Great pick.
Very good pick. You know, kind of a little backstory. I kind of do know this. Biglerville plays at Musselman Field, which is an applesauce brand. So Canner's applesauce, kind of tie that in. All right, that's enough for that. That will do it for tonight's broadcast. A couple quick thank yous. Thank you to our producer tonight, Mr. Clements. Cole Stoltz, not available tonight. Clem stepped in, did an amazing job for us. We thank you. Christian Long, our field side reporter tonight, debuting the feature. I think it went really well, despite some of that staticky. He's going to be back September 5th. We're excited to see what this can do, that outside reporter part. Mr. Riley, our tech director here at AC, thank you for all your help here. Mr. Brindle, the principal here at AC, big supporter of the show, loves it here. He was our guest picker last year. He did very well. And finally,
he's a fun time.
Yeah, finally, Dr. Antonis, guest picker this week, superintendent here at AC. Before we sign off, anything you want to add?
I cannot wait to go out there, see the cheerleaders, hear the band. It's going to be amazing. If you aren't here yet, make sure you come out. And if you don't come to this game, make sure you come out for that September game, the first one, that's the next one after Labor Day. We're excited for our Dutchmen to win. Go Dutchmen.
That'll be an exciting week. My birthday, first day of school.
Happy birthday. My birthday's 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then September 5th, Littlestown. That'll officially do it. That'll officially wrap it up for tonight's broadcast. We thank everyone for tuning in. As we just mentioned, we'll be back September 5th when your Dutchmen host the Littlestown Thunderbolts. If you can't make it to the stadium tonight, check out the Athletics Huddle page, specifically the football one. They'll be streaming tonight's game there. We hope you enjoy tonight's game, and let's go Dutchmen.